Thank you for joining us on our Chesapeake adventure. Over 7 weeks, Blue Sky carried us through 6 states, 30 cities, 2,600 nautical miles of unforgettable cruising. We experienced beautiful scenery, historic landmarks, and memories that would last a lifetime. Thank you for following along with us and sharing our adventure. It all started in Boca Grande with the PYCC cruising fleet, where incredible friendships helped launch this amazing adventure. Our first challenge was navigating 5 locks through the Okeechobee Waterway as we made our way across Florida and began our journey north. We stayed at the Roland and Martin Marina in Clewiston, our first overnight stop after crossing the state. Early the next morning, we were up before sunrise and crossed Lake Okeechobee on our way to Stuart, completing our passage across Florida. We then traveled the Intercoastal Waterway to Melbourne, Florida, for a pleasant overnight stay and celebrated our anniversary with a special dinner at the Chart House. As we were traversing the Cocoa Beach area, we were lucky enough to witness our first SpaceX launch from Kennedy Space Center. It's always a thrill to watch a rocket soar into space. Our next stop was New Smyrna Beach, a charming coastal town and one of our favorite stops along Florida's East Coast. No East Coast trip is complete without a stop in St. Augustine. We stayed at the City Marina, right in the heart of everything this historic city has to offer. We even had the opportunity to enjoy dinner with Wayne's sisters, Anne, making our visit even more special. One of the jewels of the East Coast and one of our favorite stops is Fernandina Beach on Amelia Island. We arrived during the famous Isle of Eight Flags Shrimp Festival and enjoyed the festive atmosphere, great food, lively entertainment, and even watched the Miss Shrimp Festival pageant. The festival's drone show is spectacular, one of the most impressive drone displays we have ever seen. As we cruised out of Florida, we passed Kings Bay Naval Submarine Base and were fortunate enough to spot a nuclear submarine. We also saw the degaussing range where submarines are calibrated to reduce their magnetic signature before heading out to sea. Our next stop was Jekyll Island, Georgia, known for its beautiful beaches, historic district, and the legacy of America's most influential families. Next, we cruised to Savannah and stayed at the new marina across the Savannah River, enjoying spectacular views of the historic waterfront and easy access to one of the South's most beautiful and charming cities. Proceeding north, we arrived in Charleston, South Carolina, one of our favorite destinations. With its rich history, beautiful architect, outstanding restaurants, and vibrant waterfront, Charleston never disappoints. We stayed across the Cooper River in Mount Pleasant at the Charleston Harbor Marina, which is an actual resort with so much to do right there. And they have transportation back and forth to the city. Had to have some fried green tomatoes. Our next stop was Georgetown, South Carolina, a charming historic waterfront town where Southern hospitality, beautiful oak-lined streets, and relaxed coastal atmosphere made for another memorable stop along our journey. From there, we continued to Bald Head Island, North Carolina, a unique and peaceful destination where golf carts replace cars and pristine beaches, maritime forests, and coastal beauty create a truly special experience. Bald Head Island is located on Cape Fear. Our next stop was Beaufort, North Carolina, one of the oldest towns in the state, known for its rich maritime history, charming waterfront, wild horses nearby, and ties to Blackbeard the pirate. Beaufort quickly became another favorite stop on our journey. Continuing through the heart of coastal North Carolina, we arrived in Belhaven, a friendly waterfront town known for its small town charm, welcoming boaters and beautiful views along the Pongo River. Our next stop was Coin Jock Marina, a favorite stop for boaters traveling the ICW. No visit is complete without enjoying their legendary prime rib, which certainly lived up to its reputation. Continuing north, we transited another lock in Chesapeake, Virginia, making our final lock before entering the waters of the Chesapeake Bay and beginning the next exciting chapter of our adventure. Next, we arrived in Norfolk, Virginia, home to the largest naval base in the world, surrounded by aircraft carriers, destroyers, submarines, and countless naval vessels. It was an impressive reminder of America's maritime strength and history. Our next stop was historic Yorktown, Virginia, where the decisive battle of the American Revolution took place. Walking along the waterfront and through this beautiful preserved town brought America history to life. Continuing up the Chesapeake Bay, we arrived in Deltaville, Virginia, often called the boating capital of the Chesapeake. One of the highlights of our Chesapeake cruise was passing the iconic Thomas Point Shoal Lighthouse near Annapolis, one of the most recognizable lighthouses on the bay. Our arrival in Annapolis coincided with U.S. Naval Academy's Midshipman Commissioning Week. The city was alive with excitement, pride, and celebration. We had a slip in the heart of the city, down Ego Alley, as it is called, in front of the Chop Tank restaurant. Minutes to anything you want to go to. We visited the United States Naval Academy, quite an impressive sight. An unforgettable sight was passing underneath the magnificent Chesapeake Bay Bridge, an engineering marvel stretching across the bay. Our journey then took us to Rock Hall, Maryland, the northernmost point of our adventure and the turning point of our voyage. Our next stop was St. Michaels, Maryland, one of the true gems of the Chesapeake Bay and its picturesque harbor and historic charm. We then returned to Annapolis and secured a prime spot on the waterfront to watch the Blue Angels perform during commissioning week. The precision flying and spectacular maneuvers made for an unforgettable experience. Our next stop was Harrington Harbor, where Mother Nature slowed us down for several days of unsettled weather. We rented a car and explored the surrounding area. From Harrington Harbor, we drove to Solomon's Island, another charming Chesapeake community. We also made a day trip to Washington, D.C., where we visited the Wharf Marina and its impressive waterfront development. Our journey back south, we stopped in Hampton, Virginia, a historic waterfront city at the entrance to Chesapeake Bay. Continuing south, we made return stops in Coinjock and Belhaven. This time we stayed at a different marina in Belhaven and enjoyed revisiting some of our favorite places. One of our next stops was at Morehead City, North Carolina, another enjoyable stop along the Crystal Coast. As we passed Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, we reflected on a very special memory. It was there in 1998 we purchased our first boat together, a 45 Towley Crab. Our next stop was Southport, North Carolina, a picturesque waterfront town at the mouth of the Cape Fear River. From Southport, we traversed the intercoastal waterways through the scenic marshes and low country before arriving once again in Georgetown, South Carolina. Continuing south, we returned to Charleston, South Carolina, which was every bit as enjoyable the second time. Next came my favorite stop of the entire trip, Hilton Head Island. Staying at Harbortown Marina with its iconic lighthouse, outstanding restaurants, and beautiful setting reminded us why it remains at the top of the list. Continuing south into Georgia, we stopped at St. Simon's Island with its historic lighthouse and charming village. Returning to Fernandina Beach, we rented a golf cart and explored both the historic downtown and the beachside areas of Amelia Island. We got a beautiful day when we left Fernandina Beach. Flat, calm weather to go out into the Atlantic. Back in the St. Augustine area, we revisited the nation's oldest city and explored the historic Castillo de San Marcos. Continuing south, we passed through the lock at Port Canaveral and were fortunate enough to witness our second SpaceX Falcon rocket launch of the trip. One of the most enjoyable runs of the voyage came next as we cruised south on a beautiful, calm Atlantic Ocean to the St. Lucie Inlet in Stuart. The following day, we crossed the state of Florida in a single day via the Okeechobee Waterway. After a successful transit, we spent the night at the Tarpon Point Marina in Cape Coral and celebrated with a great dinner. The next day, blue sky carried us home to Gulfport. After 7 weeks, 6 states, 30 cities, and 2,600 nautical miles, we were grateful to be back with family and friends in familiar waters. Home sweet home. Thanks for watching.